So, if you're watching this, yes, I am a bit of a hoarder, although I've been told the correct term is more pack rat because I know generally when to throw things away. I was poking around a second-hand store one day. I came across this little booklet, and I'm thinking, ooh, sewing machines. Now, I have had an interest in sewing machines for a while now. Unfortunately, there looks like there's some water damage on a few of these pages, but like this one's probably the worst, which sort of held me back from the idea about scanning it in. Although nowadays I'm a little bit more, I haven't found this online, so I'm going to do another good search, and then I'm going to attempt to scan it in and see whether or not, this ends up becoming useful. But here's the thing. So I've got this one, and some time ago, I came across a sewing machine at a place that was, well, a hoarder lived there. A hoarder got kicked out, and a whole bunch of the stuff they had was just basically getting thrown away. I got a bunch of free Pokemon games out of it, so, that's like a geek. But, I picked up a couple of sewing machines. Now, one that I picked up was basically in a bin in a driveway, so I didn't trespass behind the gate. It was just sitting there in this giant ass skip, and I'm thinking, sweet, brand new. But this particular one I asked for, so that's why it's on camera and I'm explaining it. The thing is, I didn't want the sewing machine itself. It was a bit rusted, and while that would be a great repair video, I was more interested in the motor, which is what I've kept in here. The issue with this machine is should probably keep that out of the way where it's safe. I didn't have the power lead for it, and it was horribly rusted. Now, I did say I didn't want to keep the sewing machine itself, I just wanted the motor, and that's what I did. I kind of threw out the machine, which I regret now, but anyway, can't do a recovery on it later. But this manual appears to be similar to this motor. So originally they used these leather sort of straps. Nowadays you can pick up like a rubber sort of belt, which is probably going to last longer and be a little bit better, but this I'd probably suggest would still be workable. I mean, the only thing I'd ask is whether or not there's a way to soften it up, but possibly still usable. I'm not sure. Now you got the light, you got the corner here. Now, when removing this, I did it somewhat aggressively, so I'm concerned about the external wires, but not the internal ones. See, I mean, look at this here. That's just nasty. It's all exposed. This is mains wiring, so it's going to be dangerous. The markings on this lamp here are a bit sort of off. I would consider reusing this because it's still original, intact, and should still... I mean, that sounds nice, that switch. But the other thing is, most sewing machines I have are pedal driven. This one, however, is a little different. This one's not pedal driven, it's, you sort of tap it with your knee, turn it on and off, and I unfortunately broke it. But I figured I could use this to learn how to repair these motors. And for now, I thought I'd do a disassembly to see how far I can actually get. So I believe this machine was kept in a shed. So there's a fair bit of rust on there, although not as much as I was expecting. The thing is that if you do get a machine to rewire this thing with, it's gonna provide you that detail, so I'm not too fussed about losing it. Wow, that's actually neat. So I'm not sure how much of that's my actual fault for the tearing, but I'm assuming this would have been an issue. I'm wondering how... Oh, there's a fair bit of rust on this. Not a lot, but a little bit. Alright. So I got those off. Yeah, you can see all the dirt. This was this was very poorly kept. So what I would probably do for this is replace that missing brass. Is it still here? I mean, look at all that dirt. The lighting's terrible at the moment. I haven't had a good day of sun recently, so back to filming like this. The thing is, because I broke this controller here, I'm not all that fussed with the machine. Now, because that's original, I'm going to keep that. So it's the same with this. I'll keep it because I might be able to use it. Although, definitely want to replace that cable. So I've been wanting to pull this box apart for a while as well. Now, I actually forget if I mentioned this or not, but I always thought these were called potted motors. So it's not. It's called a belt-driven motor. Now, a potted motor, if this was, it'll be encased here and it'd have like a spiral, what do you call it? A spiral gear, and that connects directly to the sewing machine, so all internal parts, and well, twists things around and gets the needle to bob up and down and everything to work properly. Whereas this one's referred to as belt driven because of the belt. Now, is this a BAK motor? RK, so manual's not compatible, or it's at least not the official manual. Now, I believe this will have two washers, not washers, sorry, brushes. And I'm curious about, well, that's used, but it's not in bad condition, so that's good. What about the second one? Alright, so that one's used, but it's not in bad condition, so it's still got plenty of wear on it. You can still use it for a while, so there's no like, oh, I've got to replace this. Now, I'm trying to see where I can pull it apart. Now, if I was to mount this thing, I'd be using these two screw mounts here. But how the hell do you open? Here we go. Oh wow, that one was dirty. So, while this is fun to play around with and all, I have seen lathes that use this kind of motor, although with how wimpy this one is, I mean it's like 0.3 amps. You can get ones like that are like half an amp, but I imagine this one would do for a small tiny ass lathe. That one's dirty too. So that's apart. Alright, now I'm just going to damage that. Alright, so that's not so free to spin anymore. See, I'm wondering if it's going to be difficult to fix those wires. Nope. There's probably someone going to be watching this thinking, oh no, you're supposed to do this, 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 and this, and I'm not. Ooh, there it goes. Ooh, that looks a little bit worn. So, the kinds of repairs I've seen done with these motors, this has gotten cleaned up so it's all nice and, but I think that might actually be the how it's supposed to look. You're gonna have to definitely clean that gunk off. Oh yeah. There's a bunch more dirt and crud in here. Alright, so that's some sort of rubber band. You've got the brushes back here where they come in. Oh wow. It's got like grease and stuff all over it. So these wires, yeah, not much of a problem. I'd have to do some research or ask online the best way to clean this up. In fact, I might use this video as a reference to say, hey, this is what I've got, this is what I want to do to it. So that was clearly once upon a time a rubber band that's now seen way better days. Now, I could honestly see myself taking this off, giving this a proper sort of clean, but yeah. Oh wow, that is really bad. Oh. Well, I got to pull this apart, at least. Now, I'm afraid I don't understand how to take this off. I'm assuming it's just press fed on. And this is plastic. It's not metal, it's plastic. Sort of wondering what the hell all this stuff is. Yeesh. But yeah, I'll try to post this to a sewing machine forum, and hopefully someone there will be able to give me some answers. Especially the best way to clean all this crap up. Oof. I'm somewhat concerned it might be conductive, which would be very bad. Very, very bad. Alright, so that's upside down. All I can say is I really hope this motor still works. Alright. So we'll go back in like this. But before I did even plug this in and try to turn it on, I'd want to clean it thoroughly. At least it's not made in America, otherwise wiring this up here could be a bit of a problem. The washer was just a little bit out of place, so I had to move it back in. Alright, so that's definitely not going to go back in properly for now. Actually, I probably don't want to put that back in properly with considering that condition. No. I should leave these out, actually. So now I look at it, yeah, I think I got this around the wrong way. Ooh, what are those two washers for? Alright, that looks a hell of a lot better. Come on, get in there. Oh, so I got this paper unfortunately folding out on me on this side. So maybe if I stick this side on properly first. Push that in like that. Regret that decision. And that doesn't fully go back together. Oh, there it goes. Alright, that does definitely not sound right. anyway. I'm not happy with that, but it's back together for now, so I'm going to leave it. Wow. I'm putting some new gloves on. Alright, so got some new gloves on. Now I'm going to try to tackle this thing. So what this unit would do is adjust the voltage, I believe, and adjust the speed to the sewing machine. So you could alter the motor, so the sewing machine would run either fast or slow, or some variant in between. I think this is Bakelite. So here's where it snapped off. There's a bit of damage here, but this would be a lot easier to fix because dead insects. I could just simply remove these two wires and replace the whole cable. So, can I remove this? No, not so easily. Oh wait. They didn't last very long. So I don't feel safe right now. Something doesn't feel right. So I'm just going to put that back on. I don't know what that white stuff is. It's got me a little worried. God, I don't want to sort of... I've unfortunately over the years exposed myself to things by accident where short term they don't cause problems, but long term they might. And I'm afraid that may have just happened again. Because they didn't ask anyone, well, different story, but usually it involves someone saying, oh, don't worry about it. And then turns out that it is. So what I'm trying to figure out here is how on earth does this control the speed of the machine? So potentially could push down, but it doesn't do much. Doesn't work too much side by side. Ah, there we go. So it pulls forward. Right. So it pulls forward. That makes sense. To a point. Alright, so that works. Took me over half an hour to figure this out, but so the thing is that I would feel comfortable pulling this apart, gluing something to that inside part there, this front here, and then using that as a motor control for this thing. Once I can clean it out properly. But now I just got to go put this back together. No, snapped in. Okay. So that's nice and back together. Plastic case, so getting that sort of set up. I wish I didn't snap that off, I really do. Oh well. Let's pull this motor back out again. You back in. You know what, I might leave that till I can get a better understanding about this. At least how I can clean it up safely. Alright, so my curiosity about this has sort of been solved. Be careful when you pull it apart, and I'm going to find out how dangerous that speed control was. So, yeah, if it was. I should leave an update in the description, but yeah, this was pulling apart a Singer sewing machine belt fed motor. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yibbity yibbida.